first with firecrackers and then with dynamite. Bolivian miners confronted police. The protests, initially peaceful, began with calls for greater access to fuel and explosives.
This government is not governing for the majority of the Bolivian people. Rodrigo Paz has said, I will govern for the majority, but on the contrary, he is governing for the minority. How is that possible? For us, it's low-quality gasoline and poor waste management. But for the oligarchic business leaders living in Santa Cruz and Pando, it's high-quality gasoline. That is an attack on the economy of the poorest segments of the population.
For other protesters, the resignation of the president has become the focus.
Resign or we will kick you out. You only have two options. We will not make any more requests because you will not fulfill them for any sector.
Confrontations with police intensified, with protesters attempting to storm the vice president's office and defending one of the capital's main squares from police. The clashes came after weeks of unrest, initially over government legislation on farming reform that was passed but then repealed Wednesday after a backlash from Indigenous and rural organisations. That did little to dampen the protests that had already spread much wider.
Bolivia is at a critical moment. The national spirit is wounded, the democratic heart is grieved, and the institutional soul is in deep anguish as a result of what we are experiencing.
In April, Bolivia hit 14% inflation. Many are struggling to pay for food and fuel. Centre-right President Rodrigo Paz won a landslide election last November, ending 2 decades of leftist rule in Bolivia with promises of reform and economic improvement.